I've been seeing this video a lot recently, and I'm going to play it just at the side of me here now. And it's telling us about how when you keep putting in, these things, life happens, you get sick, you get that. That bit I like, that bit's correct. The water gets mucky, your consciousness gets mucky, what you are going to put out to the world gets mucky. But then they go on to say, as you can see here, you just start pouring more and more water into it. More and more water into that thing. And as you do that, you're going to start to see it overflow. And as you can see in this video, that's what they're trying to describe and they're trying to express. But what I'm going to show you here today is that's not necessarily true. You are not here to just pour positivity into yourself until you've brainwashed yourself back to life. I want you to imagine, and now I'm going to share my version of how to do it. I want you to imagine this like a bucket, right? So you have a bucket, and you basically, by letting go, you create a little hole in it. You pull out the cork, and the water starts to drip out. But you start to pour in. As it falls out into the space that's created, you start to pour in the new ideas. This is the perfect way of healing, really. Why is that? Because it's not about overwhelming yourself with positivity. Because what tends to happen, and that doesn't quite show, actually on an energetic level, as you try and pour positivity on top of the fear, it actually condenses it down into a real mucky bit at the bottom that just gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until it has to explode. Then the body system goes into chaos. Life goes into chaos. We get sick. We do that. And that's what I've been trying to tell people for years. I'm trying to change this dogma of healing and spirituality. A lot of people want you to just intoxicate yourself with positive ideas and then all your problems are going to go away. It tends to just put a blanket over the issue. If you think about it like as letting go, and then in that space you add something new, after a while, and as you keep adding new stuff, the bucket stays full of beauty. But you are still letting go of anything that comes in. So a bit of muck comes in, then you let it out and you recorrect it. So how I call it is I call it the relax, release, reintend method. And this is how it helps you to do it, because actually what you do is you notice your reactions in life, you notice all the muck that you're carrying along, and you start to observe it without judgment. You start to notice it. And as you do that and you start to relax physically, that's when you open the tap. Once you feel some sort of space, you may let it all out very quickly, but if you have a lot to let go of, you're just creating some space. As you notice that space, you're going to put in the new idea of God's health, harmony, beauty, and all of these good things. And why does this vision, why does what I showed you here? Well, it makes more sense to me because it's like you keep saying, if I keep pouring good into there, it will come up and get out. But actually what you need to do is you need to detach back from the muck. You need to start to open the tap so it can release. And in the space that you create, you start to affirm, pray, visualize, create that new identity, allow that new identity, which has always been there really, because you don't create a new identity, you allow your whole self to open up. When you open up fully, and mentally, emotionally, and physically, then you're unstoppable. You become so unstoppable. But sometimes these little videos, they gain a lot of traction because they're very visual, but they're actually harmful because you keep thinking you have to be this positive being and keep pouring in all this good stuff. You do not have to do that. You have to let go of the stuff that's been holding you back. And then you can, in that space, start to create a new identity and shift to the identity of someone who's successful, someone who's flowing, someone who's healthy. And your body and life will respond accordingly. But if we keep getting stuck on this loop that we have to force good back into us, force positivity on top of this fear, you're going to then have a system that tends to collapse. Now, guys, it's coming to the end of the year, so I'm very excited to share with you that in January, I'm opening 5 spots for my 6-week one-to-one intensive where you can come and join as well. Basically, you get me like a spiritual best friend. We're going to do sessions, deep dives into you. I'm going to teach you how to let go of the blocks. You're also going to get my learning hub. You're going to get a personalized written plan that we adjust along the way. You're going to get sessions each week and extras sessions without charge when needed. I'm also become your spiritual best friend through the messaging support. We're going to get to know each other so well, you're going to have healing in weeks rather than months, years, or other things. If this is for you, I have linked it in the description. There's only 5 spots because usually I like to go through an application process and check that we're a good fit. But if you already know from watching my stuff that we're a good fit, I trust that we're meant to work together. So 5 people have this opportunity. See if it's for you. I'll see you in the new year if it is. Take care.